W action. We got the Richmond Tigers taking on the mighty Blue Baggers 4 minutes away from the start of the game. This is going to be a fantastic game. Let's just have a look where they sit on the ladder. And of course, Richmond are sitting 6th on the ladder inside the top 8. Played 3 games already, 2 wins, 1 loss. Their only loss came to the West Coast Eagles by a point. Then they next had a victory over the GWS Giants. And of course, before beating Sydney last week, Carlton also sitting in 9th position, 2 wins, 1 loss. Their only defeat came up when they played the Hawks in round 1. Of course, they went on the following week to beat the Gold Coast Suns and the Geelong Cats. Let's have a quick look at the lineups. Let's go and see who's in, who's out for this game. And of course, for Richmond, it's Tamara Luke coming in, for Poppy Kelly going out. And as you can see, Seymour, Miller is the fullbacks there for Richmond. Hicks, Lynch, Graham, halfback centres are Shelvin, Mackenzie, Dempsey. The half forwards, Dalloway, Brennan, Hosking. The forwards, Gresha, Yazia. And of course, the followers are Luke Egan and Monique Conti, the star there for Richmond. And of course, for the Blue Baggers, no change to their lineup, no ins, no outs. Henry, Cordner are the fullbacks, halfbacks are Pound. Peterson, Gurin, the centres are Finn, Good, Skepper, the half forwards, Shearer, Austin, Brown, the forwards, Vesco and Moody. Of course, the followers are Brianna Moody, Mimi Hill and Abby Mackay. There we go. That are the lineups. Learn Bottle 7. How you going, Squire? Welcome in. B for Games. G'day, g'day, g'day. Let me just see if this is worked on up. There it has. The worm is there. It's in place. It looks like we've got everything reasonably well aligned there, so it should be pretty good. And of course, this game is only moments away. We're just waiting for them to come back. Harvey, how you going, Squire? Are you streaming tomorrow's game? I certainly hope so there, Harvey. All things going well. I certainly will be. I wasn't sure whether I had to go to a birthday party or not, but yeah, I want to do everything possible to get back for this game tomorrow. It's going to be an absolute cracker of a game. So definitely looking forward to the game tomorrow. Sydney and Port Adelaide. I tell you what, who's going to win that game? That's a question. Even I don't know at this particular moment who's going to win that game. But it should be fantastic. Should be absolutely fantastic. Come on, the power. Let's beat the Swans. I tell you what, I don't know. They'll probably look, it's going to be probably 50-50. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? Who's barracking for who? And who's barracking for the opposition? We just barrack for a close game. That's what we love. 2 good sides going at it. Of course, Port Adelaide coming off hot form last week when they took care of the Hawks. Of course, Sydney Swans only played once in 3 weeks. They'll be fresh. Will that be to their detriment, or will that work out well for them? Who knows? All right, that's enough for me. Don't forget to put your poll in. Who's going to win this game? So far, we've got Richmond 57% looking like they're going to win this after 7 votes. I think I'll take you down to the ground because they're not too far away of bouncing the ball for the first quarter.
To no strangers to playing wet weather footy. It's good fun. It's a little slippery out there tonight. The deck does look great, but yeah, I'm sure we can expect to see a little bit of slipping and sliding tonight. But yeah, I'm here for it. It does feel like it's about 4 degrees though, although it's saying it's about 11. So I hope you're nice and warm up there, guys.
We certainly are. Now, last week, Daniel Harford, Geordie Allen, the Tigers kicked their 2nd highest ever AFLW score. And the flip side was the Blues kept the Cats goalless. So in the wet conditions, I wonder what we're going to see here today. Lots of goal kickers, including Sarah Hosking, the vice-captain. Got a new role this year.
Love it. Love the forward role for Sarah, part of the Fox footy team. She took 63 games to kick 8 goals in the first 63. In the last 2, she's kicked 4. So half of them are in 2 games. So I really like that role for her, Geordie. She's mobile, she's aggressive, she's good at the ground balls, and obviously can kick her through the sticks.
Yeah, absolutely. She's not down there just from a defensive pressure aspect. We know that
but she's a hard nut. She gets in and under, which no doubt that was one of the reasons why they decided to put her off half forward. But it's her ability to convert on the scoreboard, which is also extremely valuable, as we've seen over the last few weeks.
How exciting is this starting midfield? Conti, Egan, McKenzie, Shera's in there, Guerin and McKay. And we're underway, and it's the debutant Luke that gets a palm to it. Not an effective one. It squirts out the back. Here's Conti, Egan, Hicks. Rubbers the kick. Pound goes in hard on Yassir. Pushed her off the footy holding. It'll be a free kick. Play on advantage. Egan kicks it to centre half forward. It goes over the head of Brennan. Here's a chance for Peterson. The two captains in that one sentence. Out on the broadcast wing. Vesio played for the free. They didn't get it. Good kick back in board, although Good has to get down low. Luke goes for Good, opens the door for Vesio, flicks it on to Pound. Kicks it off the turf. We'll see a lot of that tonight. Heavy rain falling beforehand. Yassir. Stripped of it was Ford. Now they go forward, although Gabby Seymour in that new role across half-back, she's been awesome. Hosking, ball cleared Greiser, waiting at the back, nice pick up Lawson Tavern, Peterson, and now they can go. Good closing speed, well done, hunted down there. Lynch, who's started the season well, Egan, handball, Hosking, Dempsey, second best on ground last week in that massive win over the Swans. One-on-one. Oh, it's a Falcon. It's hit KB in the head.
She's just smiling that off. I love that attitude.
Does it sting even more in the wet, Jodie?
Absolutely. Feels like it's tattooed on your forehead.
Oh, look at that. That's a highlight forever. That's a highlight forever.
Her first 3 touches last week were goals. Her first touch tonight is a header.
That's not ideal.
Luke takes it out of the ruck and blazes away.
Tell you what we're seeing very early, Geordie, is if you can be clean tonight, you're going to have a huge advantage. Any second grabs of this slippery ball, you're going to get tackled with the pressure that's on early.
Absolutely. They're sitting really tight on their defenders, especially the Blues. I feel like at the moment Richmond are trying to flick it around, and as you said, that one-touch footy, it's going to be hard to come by tonight.
Geordie Allen, star Collingwood defender, joining us in commentary tonight on Fox Footy alongside former Blues coach Daniel Harford and Megan Waters on the boundary. Great to see the crowd in and the big puffer jackets, wet weather gear, scarves, beanies. Feels like the middle of winter. Mackenzie. Brilliant to see her out there. Egan spins. It was a little bit too hot for Luke. Now a chance. Kick from Hill. Picked off. Dempsey. So good. Oh, that delivery. I think it was Guerin going back, made really Hosking earn it, and she couldn't take the mark. So well done by the Carlton defence, and now Peterson to steady it.
There's a bit of ball in that back half at the moment for the Blues, but they're holding up okay.
Yeah, that was Guerin closing in, making sure Hosking couldn't take the mark. Here's a chance for them. Shearer. Good spoil. Well done by Seymour. Great defence. Did Shearer start on a tagging role on Monconti at the start?
No, and Conti went to McKay in the first centre bounce just to see what Carlton will throw at them, I think. But she's not being tagged at the moment, Mon, which I reckon she'll be pretty happy with.
Disposals down a little bit to start this season, but that's probably because the younger midfield teammates around her are getting more of the ball, including Mackenzie.
Well, they're a bit more efficient, actually. They're not mucking around with the ball as much. They're getting it forward as quickly as possible, getting some territory and going to work from there.
This is where she's so good. Looking for Brennan and a shove in the back on her direct opponent, Cordner. Former teammates. Harriet Cordner did her ACL playing for Richmond a couple of seasons ago. That's a great matchup. Vesio at the back on this setup. Good, and Luke in the ruck. Luke slaps it down to the benefit of Conti. Whacks it on the boot. Oh, that's exhibit A of how you play Australian rules football. Brennan with the mark. again, 50 against Cordner. No.
I think everyone else thought it was, Cal. It's a good observation. Everyone except the umpire.
So probably too far out to score, do you think, half?
I think in the conditions, yep. Although the breeze is going that way, and if there is a bit of a breeze, it's going to that end.
She's looking. She's driving long. It'll land in the goal square. Oh, she's got the distance, all right. She's got a red-hot boot. Had it against the Swans last week, and she's got it here tonight.
That was a bit of a lapse there from the Carlton defenders, just to not have someone on the goal line. Obviously, maybe they predicted that she was out of her range there and she was going to chip it short, so it drew them out. And no one went over the outside, over the back, and it just fell through half.
Well, the Chemist Warehouse replay showed it beautifully from the stoppage. The tap from Luke to Conti. You talked before about Conti not having any real close attention this game so far. We want to think about it. If you're going to give her a chance to get the ball forward in that attacking mid-area, she's going to cut you up with the inside 50 disposal, which was what we saw when KB took the mark there. Great kick. Great kick. There's a bit of a breeze going to the left of screen, so that will be the scoring end for this quarter, or for the match, that left of screen end. But that's a great piece of work from Conti at the stoppage, and a great finish.
Look at that.
Katie goes to number 3 all time.
Yeah, all-time leading goal kickers. This is the 9th season, and Conti tries to burst clear. Great tackle, Shera. Well done.
Great opportunity here for the Blues to get their ball movement going forward of centre. Let's see if they can lock it in.
Target was good. Smacked down by the Tigers. Pound. It's going to send it back inside 50. Austin on the lead. Graham overruns it. Opens the door here. Mariana Anthony.
It's interesting the Blues forward line set up at the moment, Jordan. They're keeping an anchor deep, and they're trying to open up a big channel between that player and the rest of the players. Everyone else is clearing out, creating a big 20, 30-metre hole as they're trying to bring the ball up the ground.
And it's really hard to defend. If I'm thinking of it through the lens of a defender,
here's a
incredibly
chance for
difficult
Brown.
to defend.
Former teammate of yours, Geordie, and it flicks out the side. Chance for Fitzgerald, but not.
Yeah, just back on that point, I feel like that space that they're creating in front of Austin, she is so good one-on-one. She's good on the lead. She's good in the air. I really like that tactic from the Blues.
Miller on the kick in. Out towards Brennan. He's got that match up with Cordner. Coming a long way up the ground. Yeah, that's against Luke. Razor Ray again out there tonight. Good, gives it off quickly. Beautiful sidestep by Hill. What a smother. That was fantastic by Luke. Playing her first game in the Richmond colours, and Brennan runs up to her, as the captain does, and says, well done.
She's having a bit of an impact tomorrow, Luke. She's had 3 hit-outs, equal to Jess Good in that one-on-one contest in the ruck, and then a couple of defensive efforts, a couple of touches. She's really launched into this game, Mike.
Like a good red wine, as they say, half.
Use one of those right about now.
Yeah, so did I. Sheeran. Free kicks going the Blues' way. And again, another whistle, this time a Tigers free.
Gets pretty moody. Beth Lynch got dealt with, thrown out of the contest. Combative player, Lynch, so I like the way she plays. She gave a bit back to Moody when she won that free kick.
Waiting at the back. Conti just spills it at the last minute, tackles Peterson over the line.
So a bit of territory here for the Blues at the moment. It was Tigers in the first couple of minutes, but they've evened this up in terms of the territory battle at this stage. The Blues would stretch this all the way down to their forward zone if it was at the opposite end, whereas Richmond are quite compressed. KB's the deepest player just behind centre.
Good in the front position. It favours Luke again. Gearin squeezes the kick. Anthony tackled, held to her. Austin's in the square here for the Blues. Can they get a hurried kick to her? Good, flicks it out, Shera. Kicks into a Tigers player. And then applying the tackle was Tessa Lavey in the long sleeves. Good. to the advantage of her teammate Fitzgerald. Bouncing ball. Who does it favour here? Graham for the Tigers. Trying to team up with Lynch. Tackled. It's just going to be a tackle fest this evening, and Beth Lynch is one of the best at them.
So I was wondering who was going to take the secondary ruck role for the Tigers. Jordan, looks like Laura McClellan is going to take that role for the Tigers when Tamara Luke's having a spell. They're number 16 for the Richmond Footy Club.
And leaps high. Now a little toe poke. Stoppage to stoppage we go. Swatted down by Bree Moody. Foot races on. Who can get there first? Flicks out the side. Hurrying the kick was Hicks. Said it was going to be slip-slidey footy. And it's a real slugfest.
Yeah, certainly early it's going to be a bit challenging, I reckon, Carl, while they're feeling themselves out at this stage, trying to get some ascendancy or some control of the contest.
Moody palms it out and then flicks out the handball. Slap down Graham. Gives it back to Conti. Look at this initial burst of speed. It's brilliant. And that's a great mark taken by Mackenzie. Wheels around on the left. She's got a boot on her. She times it to perfection. That's fantastic footy. Trying to open it up. Greiser looking for Brennan. Had to slap it down. Caught out of position. Follows up with a tackle. Look, they've got the numbers here. If they can get it out, they can't. Spinning kick into the centre of the ground. Doesn't favour Moody. Forced to tackle Lavey. Right in the bullseye. Ball's up for grabs.
Yeah.
Conti fires it out. Miller throws it on the boot. Almost for Greiser. She'll leave it for Yasia. Yasia just flicks it back. Now she wants to get it back. Yasia says no. Mackenzie handballs backwards. One way then the other. Dempsey. Zigs. Zags. Zigs. Yasia on the ground in the pocket. Usually where she does her best work, but it's wet. It's a heavy ball and it's a hard one to pick up tonight.
Just reckon they would have been better served trying to get that ball to the top of the square as quick as they could there, the Tigers, rather than just handball back under pressure, just invite the pressure in different conditions. Put the Blues defence under pressure in a dangerous spot.
Brennan in the ruck, up against Bree Moody. Big ass, Moody slaps it. Couple of quick handballs and possessions in there. McClellan tried to get it down. Well done, it was by Fitzgerald. No one home, Miller says, yep. An uncontested mark, the intercept to Beck Miller. They go around the outer side again. Bree Moody with the leap. Came from a long way back. Flicked it out of the hands. Away she goes. Left boot is over the head of Brennan.
Not the option from Ellie.
Lands in. Dempsey. Anthony does well. Gets it up to Austin. The Blues win the 2-on-2. Inside 50. It's a foot race back there. Going to ground. It's a free kick for the Blues. And it's Brown over Lynch.
That chain started with Maddie Guerin's composure off half back then. She just didn't get sucked into the fact that the Richmond defenders were trying to press her. She just danced around and found an option inside.
Brown goes to the top of the goal square. Celine Moody's there, picks it up, gets a little toe poke away. Skipper has a sniff. Stripped of it was Fitzgerald. Celine Moody, Seymour for the Tigers. Away they go. Round the outer side. A good kick. A little fumble here from Hendry. Does well to keep it in play. Lawson Tavern missed the boot. Only goal kicker, Katie Brennan, the captain for the Tigers, kicked the first last week against the Swans, where they went on to win by 46 points. Tigers with the numbers. Comes out to the side, Guerin. Here she is. Bangs it long. Can they get a mark here? Deep inside 50. Austin flies at it. Great spin by Brown. Seymour slapped at it. Complete fresh airy. Advantage tries to claim the free. Here's Gearin. Lost it. Tried to take him on. Free kick for the Tigers. Play on Advantage. Hosking. They like to move it and move it quickly. The G-Train goes to ground. Thought she won a free. Play on. Play on Advantage. Play on. You can see Razor AC. Keep going. Now Greiser with the soccer. She needs the roll. She hasn't got that.
Great work from Hoskin. Get that ball moving for the free kick really quickly. Had the Blues defenders on their heels there. Well, Karen Peterson, you can see there, the game on the weekend against Geelong, she hurt her shoulder late.
Yes,
Remember
she
that,
did.
Cal?
Yes, and you said don't put her back on, and they did.
And they did, and she's all of a sudden holding that, cradling that shoulder at the moment.
On the kick in, Luke almost took the mark. Fired out by Hosking on the bottom of the pack. Sherratt Court, Lavey, play on Advantage. Here goes Mon, ducking and weaving, delivering to the top of the goal square. Grimes is in position A, and that is money in the bank every day of the week.
That's that deep entry we were talking about, half that they lacked a little bit early, and look at that penetration. They just got it out the back of that of the Blues defence there, and Grimes was able to do her work. And you know, that's the value of Mon Conti here, just creating space for herself. And Grimes just read the ball better. Unfortunately, Lawson Taven just got pushed under it, read it, but yeah, Grimes just read it better.
Yeah, but just a great spot, as you say. We talked about it before. That's the danger spot. That's where defenders get twitching. They had the spare sitting in front there. It was Henry back there trying to help out Lawson Taven. They had the spare there. They're still able to get to the back just through pressure.
Tigers by 12 points. Maddie Shevlin joins us on the boundary. Maddie, how challenging are the conditions out there tonight?
Almost Maddie Shevlin. I know we get mixed up a lot. I'm actually Ada Sheeran, but we're the sisters, so it's really good. It's really challenging tonight. Obviously, a bit slippery. Carlton's a contested team like us. We know we come out firing, and it'd be hard work in the middle there. So it's just about that work rate, getting contest to contest, and having composure with the ball. So I'm really happy that we started that way.
Eilish, I apologise about that.
We get mixed up all the time.
No,
don't worry.
I know that. A little person in my ear probably gave me the wrong information. We will blame them. But hey, listen, your new role in the midfield, coming instead of half-back, two-time All-Australian across half-back. How are you finding that new role?
Yeah, obviously love the challenge. It's a little bit different, so I'm really enjoying learning the new position and all the structures. It's good to be up around the ball, and we have such a strong midfield this year. There's so many different people who have different strengths. Mon, Greg, Ali Dalloway, her work rate, and Ellie McKenzie, who could forget she's coming out firing. So it's really nice to just be part of that group and see us drive the team forward.
And Eilish, for the viewers at home, is there a scoring end? Are you kicking to the scoring end this quarter?
No, there's no real breeze at the moment, but you never know with Melbourne. I'm sure something will kick up. I'm sure we'll have 4 seasons in a game. But at the moment, no, it's pretty calm down here.
Eilish, get out there. We love your work. It's been a good start for the Tigers.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Eilish Sheeran, two-time All-Australian in the last 2 seasons. Missed the start of the season this year with a quad injury, just returned last week.
Well, I'll tell you, if they can get McKenzie, Conti and Sheeran in the same team for long enough, that'll be a threat all the way through this season. They just haven't had that opportunity. Ella McKenzie's missed a lot of footage, we know. And Eilish is just getting her wheels for this season as well with the second game.
How good has Tamara Luke been in this opening term?
Brilliant.
Retired from AFLW after a second stint at the Hawks. Blues need a free kick, or they need a hurried kick. They need to do something to get it going. Pound. Needs to pound it inside 50. Siren beats them. And after keeping the Cats goalless for an entire game last week here, the Blues go goalless in the opening term. It's very wet, tough conditions. Tigers will take a 12-point lead into the first change.
All right, folks, quarter time. The Tigers looking good. 2-1-13 leading the Blue Baggers. 1 behind 1. Tigers by 2 goals here after the first quarter. Tell you what, the girls are actually showing a little bit of poise out there tonight. I'm liking what I see from both sides. And Tigers could be hard to beat. I think the Blues just got beaten on the siren there. The girls were just about to have a crack on goal, but the siren beat them. Luckily for the Tiger supporters, that happened. There we go. So I'm welcoming everybody in the house tonight. Let's go and see who's in. B for Games, how you going, Squire? Learn Bottle 7. Harvey, how you going? young fella. Of course, we've got the Port supporter and, of course, Al's Adventure Vlogs, the Sydney Swans supporter. Ryan Avery, Rogue One. May the force be with you. And the Tigers tonight. How you going, Squire? Brett, g'day there. G'day. And of course, Annie, hope you're asleep by now. Annie, you need to get a little bit of rest there. Thanks all for popping in. Taddy, hope you're having a good day over there. Hopefully you've got a nice, sunny, beautiful, warm day like Paul has over there. My gosh. I'll tell you what, looking forward to the good, nice, warm weather here, Paul. It's 8 degrees at the moment. It was windy. It was a shocker today. So the girls doing it pretty good, handling the wind out there all right today. Let's go and have just a quick glance. Quick glance, shall we? My gosh, where are we? Let me reload this up. There we go. All right, there we go. Let's have a look at the leading disposal getters out on the ground. There's 3 all on the same. 3 all with 6. Of course, that's Mimi Hill and Grin from Carlton. And, of course, the star of Richmond, Monique Conti, with 6 as well. There we go, all sharing the ball around a little bit there, which is good to see. Check out your favourite player. See how they're polling for the stats after the first quarter. We'll just run down this a little bit. There we go. There's your stats for the players. I know there's not too many goals being kicked, only the 2 goals for the Tigers, and of course that's Gresha and Katie Brennan. Katie Brennan was the first goal scorer of the game. Just while we're waiting for them to come back, let's just have a look at the team stats, see what's happening. I wouldn't think there'd be too much domination here, but it's actually Carlton by 16 in the disposal count. There we go. That's a little bit of a surprise. 7 more kicks, 9 more handballs, but Richmond doing it well. There we go. Inside 50s, both teams getting plenty of opportunity in the first quarter. 10 to the Tigers for 3 scoring shots, 8 to the Blue Baggers just for the 1 scoring shot. Disposal efficiency a little bit down for both sides, 59, 53%. Free kicks, all square, all tied up there, 5 apiece. Looks a reasonably clean type of game, but Carlton are in front on the hit-outs there, leading that department 15-7. And with the clearances by 3 also, 11-8. Centre clearances 2-1. Well, Carlton doing well in the clearances. They're pretty well on top in most areas apart from the scoreboard. Contested possessions and uncontested turnovers pretty similar. The marks though, have a look at the marks. Well, 7 to the Tigers, 1 to Carlton. I'm not sure why Carlton's not kicking and marking the ball there. We'll need to do that. Inside 50. Couple there for the Tigers, none yet for Carlton. There we go. That's surprising. I can't actually, I've ever seen a team going just with 1 mark for a quarter. There we go. We'll keep an eye on that at half time and see what happens. There you go. That's quarter time, folks. It's the Tigers by 12 points. We're in for a good game. As I said, both these teams have got 2 wins and 1 loss on the board. Richmond sitting 6th on the AFLW ladder. Carlton sitting 9th. Whoever wins this game will go ahead of the other. Let's just have a little bit of a look. That is actually the live ladder, so we actually turned the ladder off before this game started. As you can see, Richmond 6, Carlton on 9th, both with 8 points for both teams. All right, let's get back down to the ground as they take us into the second quarter. It's the Tigers by 12 points.
A ruck who plays as an extra mid. She's got 3 contested possessions and 2 tackles. She spent a little bit of time off on the bench. She's probably not extremely match fit. Hasn't had as much exposure as other players, but it's pretty good half. It's a great start.
Certainly is. Let's get down first of all before we hear from half. Megan has got Matthew Buck.
Matthew, that we knew that this was going to be a hotly contested game, which is exactly how it started. How did you see it?
I thought the Tigers were cleaner than us in the first, so probably, we had it in our half for a little while, but just got to be a bit better with our disposal, I think.
Now, I saw Kez Peterson run by just a little earlier, I think, a shoulder assessment. Have you got any updates on her?
Yeah, nothing further than that. I think she'll be out for the rest of the game, though.
All right, thank you.
Oh, dear.
That's a block.
We've got a captain's curse.
We do.
This season.
Me too. There's
Karen Peterson out for the rest of the game with a shoulder complaint. Of course, Geordie, your captain, Bree Davies, out with concussion. Missed a couple of games. Bonnie Toogood, a captain with a knee. And Stannard, the Dockers captain, out for the season with a knee. Cuthbertson of Port Adelaide's got a knee. And, of course, Chloe Malloy out for the season with a knee. But what it's meant is we've seen so many teenagers just burst onto the scene. You've got an exciting player at Collingwood that's playing down back with you that's been sensational.
Absolutely. Lucy Cronin has been taking the competition and the game's best forwards by storm. She did the job on Dakota Davidson a few weekends ago. She's a star, one to watch.
So is Hosking getting down low. Didn't have a huge impact in that first quarter. Great mark in these slippery conditions. Former Blues player. Puts it out to Brennan. Kept it in play? No, she didn't.
That's some of the key numbers from that first quarter. Carlton dominated the main categories. They're plus 10 in contested possessions, plus 4 in uncontested possessions, plus 3 in clearance, plus 1 in centre clearance. So they got all the key metrics right. But as we talked about pre-game, Richmond's efficiency and ability to get the ball inside their forward half with very few possessions is a real strength that puts opposition defences under enormous pressure.
Moody got it down. Mackenzie tackled by Shearer. Bree Moody again. The 3 mids are there for the Blues. They couldn't pick it up. Mackenzie. Egan. Looks for the handball. Here goes Conti. Look at those first few steps. Absolutely explosive. Asks a lot of Greiser. Had to beat a couple. Dempsey. Can she flick it to her own advantage? She's forced to tackle.
Lucky. That Egan to Conti combination. They're like the Cracker Brothers. For us old people,
yes,
the Cracker Brothers. Once one's got it, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
No.
Once one's got it, the other one's going to get it immediately afterwards. It's a great connection they have through that middle of the ground for the Tigers.
Razor Ray just having a chat to Bree Moody.
She old Shane Bassling.
Conti. Egan. Couldn't quite get the clearing kick. Picked off by McKay. Shearer squeezes it. Foot races on. Who's going to get there first? Well done. Picked up by Shevlin. Kicks towards Hosking, tackled by Moody. Former teammates.
The former vice captains together, those two.
Yeah.
With the Blues. It's a good result to get out of bounds there for the Tigers. Get a chance to reset. Set up behind the ball. Luke's sitting off as the ruck. She'll let the forwards do the ruck from here.
Conti, look away handball. Off to Shevlin. Greiser, but playing in front. Beautifully picked off there by Brown.
Conti's had 10 to start the game and 70% disposal efficiency. I'd love to see her maybe receive a tag. She's getting dangerous.
It was the pick off by Finn, Dana Finn, who had that injury scare in the warm-up. Twisted ankle, but she's out there playing. Now Miller. Another foray forward here for the Tigers.
That being said, it just looks like Keely Skepper's just gone to stand on Mon Conti.
Egan all by herself. I think the target might have been Greiser. The G-train was steaming out. Egan, a high ball. Flying Hosking, floated in from the side. She is so tough. Running away with it is Guerin. Does it sit here for Graham? She's going to lead to the footy. She's got Miller. Well done. Nice little teamwork, and then pokes it down the line. Shevlin. Fakes one way. Oh, wonderful. McKay. Smother. Turnover. Look out. Too high or gone? Too high.
Well, they set up really well. Graham's behind the ball, so that's why she got caught. Loose tackling in, keeps possession for the Blues, but that was a good setup from the Tigers.
So it's Brown that wins the free. Tani Brown to Vesio. They go inside 50, working her way in front. Well done, Seymour. Too good in front of Austin in a one-on-one. No longer playing that ruck position. Vesio in the marking contest. Luke tough.
Oliver.
Wow. And it's been that sort of grunt and hard work. It comes out to Egan, who's given it straight to the Blues. Guerin. Pushed off it by Miller. Gearin goes again. A toe poke. Shearer. Bree Moody. Doesn't make sweet connection. Gearin's going to get it out again. Oh, look at the tackle by Conti. And Ailish Sheeran tries to barge through and she's been pinged for holding. Good pressure.
Well, the Blues just want to be mindful of overdoing it with hands, I reckon, tonight. I know it's part of their DNA, but conditions like this, just get it forward. Get it forward 50 like they did last week. Give themselves a chance for repeat entries to scores.
Remember, Half, I'm putting you in charge of the Harvey Norman Player of the Game today.
Oh, it's my duty, is it?
Well, you can talk to Geordie about it, but between the two of you...
According to Geordie Allen, I'm too old.
Put our heads together. The brain's trust over here, Cal.
Luke again. Conti, good, slaps it down. Miller, Brown, overruns it. There's Sheeran. She might be pinged for holding the ball again. Second time in a minute for Ailish.
So Lily Goss will get it.
Conti just went in and had a quick, quiet word to her as well.
I don't know if she's got this journey, Lil. Downhill, down breeze, maybe a little bit of help, but wouldn't mind betting she has a bit of a look at someone else here.
3 goals so far. Well, she's got the distance, but not the accuracy. Sprays it to the left.
A few growing pains maybe there for Ailish Sheeran, just trying to work her way into the midfield. Happens to the best of us.
She had the one disposal so far. For one of their prime movers, she'll be keen to get into the game.
Spoke to you for about 10 minutes down on the boundary in that first quarter.
Is that her or Sheffer?
Here she is. Sheeran. Good tackle. This is Dalloway. Goss, rather. Who can take it cleanly here? Sheeran tries to soccer it off the ground. It's a basketball jump ball. Pound breakaways in New South Wales. Conti keeps it low.
There in the tackle by Yasia and Mackenzie. Lamont Conti's sitting 10 metres off and they just can feed the ball back to her. A quick kick out, Carlton's going to go straight to her. That can't happen too much longer, can it?
Absolutely not. That's not sustainable for the Blues defence to have Conti, someone as damaging as her, sitting off the back of the stoppage.
McKay, Shearer, Vesio, all by hand, over-possessed it. Lynch, tackled by Bree Moody.
I'd love to see some retention inside forward 50 here for the Blues. It just seems that the damn wall breaks after 1 or 2 stoppages and they're unable. Put these gun midfielders in at this contest.
Looking for McKay, who's had a sizzling start to the season. She wins the free. I think it was Sheeran again giving it away.
It was.
So off they go. Sliding in Moody. Goss.
So the Tigers aren't dropping one back. Carlton aren't dropping one back. It's even Stevens all across the ground here at the moment. We see another free kick given away in the ruck.
It was against Luke. So Jess Good, who's a thumping kick, drives it long. Big pack forms. Austin had front position. Off hands, Anthony. Lavey. Graham. Vesio bearing down Lavey. Good pressure. Well done by the Blues. And they keep it deep inside 50. Fitzgerald made sure of it.
D2 pressure, they call that. Not immediately the contest, but that sort of outer ring where they're trying to feed the ball in the Tigers as they tried to exit, covering off those outlets. Good pressure by the Blues.
Moody in the ruck. Shearer. Conti just makes it look easy, although it's a wobbly kick. Sheeran tries to take them on. She's already been caught holding twice in the last couple of minutes. Hill, spoil from Graham. Shearer needs a kind bounce. Brennan pushes her off it and then tries to fire out the handball, but she's held by Shearer. Blues still looking for their first goal. Good, down to McKay. Tackled by Lynch. Never getting out of that one.
Seen that a bit from the Blues from stoppage. Trying to get on the fly through it. Seen it a couple of times with Shearer, McKay on that occasion. Willie Goss has done it, so it's clearly an opportunity for them to exploit their athleticism.
Oh, the kick wasn't great. Opens the door. Here's Bree Moody. Brown took too long to think about it. Handballs into space. Lavey just tries to push her opponent off the ball in Fitzgerald. Brown tries to catch Conti. Good luck. Dancing through a couple of defenders.
The handball through the traffic.
Just a pleasure to watch.
Fitzgerald down. Slow to get up from that tackle.
Conti's up to 14 disposals, putting on a clinic tonight. Let's make it 15. So clean in the wet. Goes down the line. Grice is caught behind. Just little shove to her opponent. Now she's surrounded by Blues. Courtner. Able to share it around Beattie. Hendry. And that'll be last touch rule to be a free kick to the Tigers. Here's Fitzgerald.
Just a replay with some high contact, perhaps. Didn't look too much in it, must admit.
Captain Karen Peterson out for the game with a shoulder complaint. Great delivery.
So something's got to happen now with Conti. This is getting out of hand. 16 disposals and utterly dominant.
Miller's been able to sneak down from beyond the arc. What's the defender got in her? Lavey by herself. Missed the target. Hill tries to fire it wide. Surrounded by Tigers. Sheeran gets her hands free. Seymour. Into the pocket it goes. Hosking with a tackle.
The Blues have just got to get the ball on the boot there. They've just got to take the territory there. You know, we heard from the coach earlier, they're just overusing it by their hand, and they're not clean enough to break that immense pressure that they're receiving from Richmond. Let's just opt for territory ball here.
Gearin the clearing kick. Can they get a lucky break? Seymour, a bit of a hospital handball, stolen by Brown. Gearin into space. Graham beats Vesio to the footy. Tigers are just beating them one-on-one, aren't they? To the footy, always getting there first. Here's Mackenzie. She bursts clear. She's on her favoured left. She puts it to the top of the goal square. Cordner in a one-on-one. Cordner wins the first battle against Brennan. Brennan now, head over the footy. Goes to ground. Pound, tackled by Yasia.
It's a great matchup, Brennan and Cordner. If it's not lace out, Cordner's doing a hell of a job getting the ball to ground and keeping it away from KB. When she does have a leading lane, she's very dangerous.
Sarah Hosking sucking in the oxygen, a little sore out there. Chance for the Tigers. This is McClelland. Miller. Back to McClelland. Over the top. Hicks had to wait. Bearing down well was Finn.
Richmond just keeps sending it down to, you know, the density here. They're set up so well on the fat side. It'd be awesome to see them change lanes and access those numbers. The Blues just won't be able to defend it.
Brilliant camera work there, Sarah Hosking. Maybe sore ribs, do you think, half?
Shoulder sort of stinger, I reckon.
Okay.
The tackle.
Look at this, Ellie McKenzie. Off to Yasia. Over the top, Sarah Hosking. Can she get it over? Over the head it goes of Brennan. Greiser. Brennan still might open the door here. Chance for Lavey. Goes to ground. Good tackle by Skepper. Cordner tackled by Dempsey.
It was a good tackle. He grabbed the one arm and Cordner had the one arm free, but wasn't pinged for not trying to advance the ball on.
Greiser. Oh, it's stolen by Conti. She spins on the outside of the boot. Not quite. Gearin. Skipper. Happy to see it over.
I think it was that.
Oh.
That's why she's been so dominant, where the Blues are trying to chip it around by hands. The Tigers are just giving that first one, and if they're not, it's Conti who's breaking those layers with her own leg speed and that acceleration that she's got. She's up to 12 disposals
Second quarter.
Second quarter alone.
What?
12 disposals this quarter.
No, you got the stats wrong. You're looking at the total game, aren't you?
I'm telling you.
Okay.
She's had 18 for the game.
Oh,
Got to go to a...
wow. It was like watching ballet, wasn't it? The pirouette. Effortless. A beautiful footballer to watch.
So in the first quarter, Carlton had real depth to their forward of the ball setup. Now they're really compressed, so even if they surge it, they can turn the Richmond defence around and run back to goal and have a real advantage that way. So I would just get it on the boot, surge it forward and work around it from there.
Here is the surge. McClelland. A tumbler and a wobbler. Tough one for Egan to control. Hill. Lavey. Set upon. Great to see Tess back in the team after battling injury last season. Conti again. Hicks. Dempsey in a one-on-one. Up against Skepper. Skepper's going to be pinged for holding. Kate Dempsey just gets better and better with each season.
Going well, a good day last week. It's an important job on Skepper. Skepper's having no influence on this contest at the moment. She's a real class act, Keely, but Dempsey's doing a great job nullifying her impact.
Conti's going to ask them to run and leap and get on her bike. Did Greiser. Stepped off her line. Plays on quickly. Hosking. It's got to beat a couple. Quick fire out of there. Garcia. Make sure it's locked inside 50 with 23 seconds left.
Good tackle, strong tackle.
There's been lots of that in this opening half. Flicked out to Egan. Goes without it. Guerin just going to hack it out of there. Still time. Graham. Good tackle by Brown.
But at least it's out of that danger zone now. That's not the ultimate exit for any team, but under enormous pressure, they've been trying to finesse the ball a bit, the Blues, this evening. Just clear it out, reset from there. It's a much better position.
It's tight and tough and tense, and the difference has been the number 4. Mon Conti, what a half of AFLW. 20 disposals she's had so far. Geordie Allen, what has been the real standout from her stats?
Well, she's had 7 clearances and 12 contested possessions. So we've seen her, that she's getting the ball around the ground. She's had a few uncontested possessions, but it's what she's doing on the inside. You see the polarity between this Blues midfield and this Tigers midfield. It's the feature of players like Mon Conti and Grace Egan to break that line with their acceleration and their leg speed. It's causing headaches for the Blues.
5-time All-Australian and a 5-time Richmond Best and Fairest winner. And yet, here we are, almost lost for words, the half that we've just seen her put on. And she's leading her team to an 11-point win at half-time. Katie Brennan kicked the first goal. Caitlin Greiser the second goal. It's low scoring because of these slippery conditions. Let's get down to Megan Waters with the captain, KB.
Well, nice first half, Skip. They're certainly not making it easy for you. There's a whole lot of pressure out there. How are you finding it out there?
Yeah, Carlton really base their game around pressure, and particularly in their defence, they get numbers back really hard. So a really tough outfit to play against, but really proud of our girls for starting fast and to be able to withstand that pressure.
Well, you kicked a big one from long range early in that first quarter. What needs to happen to ensure that you keep getting your hands on it in your forward 50?
Yeah, we're talking about just trying to keep some depth with our forwards, trying to spread the ground a little bit, get the ball to grass. As you can see, it's pretty dewy out here with the rain. So a few fumbles here and there, but if we can try and get to space and get it out the back, I think that's our best chance.
All right, well, go well. Enjoy the rest of the game. See you, Skip.
So the Tigers lost their first round by a point. Since then, they've beaten the Giants, they've beaten Sydney, and they're trying to make it 3 wins on the trot. They lead by 11 at halftime.
Righty-ho, folks. There we go. Half-time. Still Richmond leading 2-1-13 to Carlton. 2 single behinds, 2 points. Can you believe it? Carlton won that quarter. Richmond winning the first quarter. Carlton winning the second quarter just by kicking the one solitary behind. I tell you what, I talk about a scoreless quarter. Well, that's as close as you get it in that quarter there, folks. I tell you what, she's a tough old game. And as I said, Conti is absolutely on fire there for the Tigers. Let's go and have a look at some stats. Have a look at that. Monique Conti for the Tigers, they're leading the way on the disposal getter. Best on ground at the moment by a long way. 20 disposals up until half time. Have a look at that. 13 kicks, 7 handballs. She's taken a mark. She's had a couple of tackles. She nearly kicked a sausage roll. It just fell a little bit short, but she's doing it all. Tell you what, it's going to be impressive to see the end stats that Monique Conti can conjure up in this game. Mimi Hill there, the best for the Blue Baggers with 12 disposals, 7 kicks, 5 handballs, doing it well also. So we run down, maybe McKay there with 10 there for the Blues, Maddie Shelvin with 8 for the Tigers, Rebecca Mills 7 there for the Tigers. There we go. Brown Moody there, 6 for the Blue Baggers. Sarah Hosking there, doing not too bad of a job. 5 disposals only, but still not too bad. She's going, all right, let's just roll down a little bit. See what's happening with the stats on everybody. There we go, there are the stats. But I tell you what, folks, this is a Monique Conti show there for Richmond, showing the class, the poise, why she's so good. Still only the 2 goal scorers in the game. Grecia and Brennan, both single goal scorers for the Tigers. The AFL fantasy points if you play that game. Of course, Conti is on top there, leading the way on 61. Brown Moody there, 55. Killy Sheriff, 52, and all the rest under 50. Let's just check in with those team stats now. Evening itself out a little bit. Not much difference from the first quarter. Still 15 ahead to the Blue Baggers. There's 4 kicks, 11 handballs. Inside 50s. Tigers got a little bit more. 18-14. They need to score a little bit more going inside both teams. Whoever scores more going inside, because they're getting plenty of opportunities. Carlton now leading the way on the free kick count, 12-7. Hit-outs, still Carlton in the hit-outs. Look at that. Hit-outs and clearances dominating there by the Blue Baggers. Centre clearances all tied up, 2 apiece. Stoppage clearances, Carlton by 7. Contested, uncontested, Carlton in that area as well. Turnovers reasonably on 28-30. Both teams doing about the same. Time in possession with the ball. Just a 30% for the Tigers, 44% for Carlton. As you can see, Carlton are pretty much leading the stats in all departments, apart from on the scoreboard. And the marks, of course, Richmond 17, grabbing the ball a little bit better. Carlton finally grabbing a mark there. 3 marks in that quarter. 3 inside 50 marks to Richmond. Carlton yet to obtain one. Looking forward to hopefully getting down there in the third quarter and the second half. Try and do a little bit more down there for them. Bring it inside. Tackles inside 50 though. Carlton bringing a good bit of pressure, stopping Richmond from scoring when they get down there. They've had plenty of opportunities. As I said, Richmond down there forward 50. All right, let's go back up. We'll put it back onto the scoreboard as we wait for the team to come back. There are the commentators. Let's head back down as they get us a few thoughts.
And Medibank mind-blowing moment. Well, Cody Brennan's mind's probably blown after that. You either can say her first touch was forgettable, or you could say she's been an absolute ball magnet, because she has been in everything. Kicked the 3 goals with her first 3 touches last week. Kicked a goal here tonight, the first one. And she's got her Tigers leading by 11 points at halftime. 2-1-13 to the Blues, 2 behinds. Collingwood star defender Geordie Allen alongside me. And Geordie, I guess it's been a fantastic game. Plenty of pressure, some big tackles in there. Tough conditions because of the heavy rain that fell just before the start of the match.
Yeah, tough conditions, and the Tigers are just playing it better at the moment. The Tigers are going 56% by foot. The Blues are only going 38% by foot, Cal. And, you know, they've got a 1-to-1 kick to handball ratio. So, you know, they need to get those kicking numbers up. We want to see more of a 2-to-1 kick to handball ratio, especially in these conditions. They just can't afford to stuff around with the ball at the contest. Richmond's pressure's just too good.
Yeah, these are Chemist Warehouse halftime highlights. We will talk about that woman in a moment in Monconti. In fact, let's talk about her now because what does she have? The 19 or 20 disposals to halftime. She could be on world record pace, which we saw broken not too long ago.
Nah, she's chasing Ali Anderson down. I reckon she's got that at the back of her eyelids. But 12 disposals in that quarter alone. Someone needs to go to her. Someone needs to make it their mission to stop Monconti because she's doing it on the inside. She's doing it on the outside. She's really servicing this forward line and, you know, it's causing headaches for the Blues.
Okay, this is Thursday night footy on Fox, which means tomorrow night it is the first of the men's preliminary finals. The teams have come through. Big selection news. Let's get down to Megan Waters, who has it all. Megs.
Yes, finals footy, gee whiz, 4 teams and only 3 games to go. And of course, the big dance next weekend. But we have had some movement and some team changes. So Friday night, of course, at the SCG, we will see Sydney take on Port Adelaide. Robbie Fox is in and Taylor Adams is out for the Sydney Swans, which of course is a little bit of heartbreak there. And then for Port Adelaide, Charlie Dixon in, Ryan Burton in as well. And we see Todd Marshall out injured and Will Lawrence is omitted. And then Cats v Lions on the Saturday night here at the home of football at the MCG. We've only had one change from the Geelong Cats, and that is Tom Stewart in, Zach Tui out, no changes from the Brisbane Lions. So I'm looking forward to a tantalising weekend of football. Back to you, Cal.
Yeah, and look at those little girls out there enjoying every minute of it. Sit by your TV for the rest of the weekend. We've got it all covered, beginning with a double-header tomorrow night for Friday night footy, all on Fox. North Melbourne are hosting a game under lights for the first time at Whitten Oval. It's a Port Adelaide double-header. First, their women's team trying to knock off one of the teams right at the top of their perch. And then it is the first of the men's prelim live from the Harbour City. It is the Sydney Swans, the minor premiers, taking on Kenny's men, Port Adelaide. You catch it all live and exclusive from tomorrow night. Joining us, Mon Conti, the reigning league best and fairest winner, is putting on a show. She is a freak of an athlete. We talk about some of the best female athletes in Australia at the moment. Here she is, getting possession number 21, on track for breaking the all-time possession record, which belongs to Ali Anderson from Brisbane at the moment, with 43. Blues trying to see if they can produce their first major of the evening. Very wet, heavy ball out there.
You're right about Monconti, Cal. Talked about her in the first half. She's right in the zone for the Harvey Norman player of the night. Don't you worry about that. That's where I'm looking at the moment. She's going to get herself a $500 voucher the way she's going. If Geordie agrees, of course.
Sarah Hosking. Oh, Brendan just slipped through her hands. Cordner's got to be careful here. Shera. And it's all Richmond. Dempsey. Conti's by herself inside 50. Dempsey thought about it. Wedges the kick. Guerin, right place, right time, as she has been for this entire season. McKenzie with the tackle. That's a dumping, dangerous tackle by Ellie McKenzie.
Abby McKay thought it was going the way of the Tigers there. She was a bit upset. That's
poor old
not Dana Finn. She's had one of those nights, hasn't she?
She has.
Hurt in the warm-up. You see the replay, taken to ground.
This will get looked at half.
No doubt. Hitting the head, we'll keep an eye on her.
So Dana Finn suffered an ankle injury in the warm-up. But she has started this game, and now the doctors will go out and just check if she's got any concussion symptoms. As Hill runs it over.
Yeah, normally you'd see a doctor or physio go out and have a bit of a look at the moment, but they're all sitting on the bench still at the moment for the Blues. They're not too worried about Dana. So it looks like she's fine, which is good.
Luke in front. Egan through traffic. Dempsey. Awkward looking kick. Sharon is surrounded by Tigers. Blues do well.
Perfect.
Bursting clear. Goss. One-on-one. Austin. Can she keep her feet? She can't. Both go to ground. Seymour and Austin. Seymour a second crack at it. And making sure of it is Lily Goss.
That's what we were talking about before in that second quarter, Geordie. Turn the defence around. Just kick it into the space, let them run back towards goal and not allow the Richmond defenders to run to the ball. Have to run away from goal to try and do anything about it.
The worst position to be in is a defender half, I'll tell you that.
Curling kick back into play has been chopped off by Pounds.
Need more from Gab. He had the 3 disposals in that first half. It's terrific against the Gold Coast Suns 2 weeks ago. Okay last week, but they need it tonight.
Oh, right on the arc, and Luke made Guerin earn that. Maybe Guerin. One of the ball magnets of season 9 of this NAB AFLW season clears the pack. Seymour last line of defence. Breaks clear. Anthony keeps it alive. Brown tackled by Dalloway.
Well done.
It's Miller that sees it over.
So all you got to do in those situations is keep it very, very simple. You're inside the 9 metres. You're always going to be under pressure. Take it over every day of the week.
Shorts it on the kick into Seymour. McKenzie in space, calling for it. Instead, it's to Egan. What a dynamic midfield they are starting to really generate here. Conti, McKenzie, Egan. McKenzie bears down on corner and makes sure she's going nowhere. Harriet's had a tough night.
So there's still no one going to Monconti. This is the story in this second half, Jordan. We were talking at half time. Who's going to go to her? Who's going to lock her up? She's sitting at the defensive side of the stoppage, looking at her on screen all by herself. Doesn't make any sense.
Have they got extra numbers here?
Tigers?
Yeah, it looks like they've got loose play.
Make it somebody else.
The only player that no one's gone to is Monconti, and guess who gets it?
So she's hitting defensive side of the contest, so the Tigers could feed it back to her if they need to. If Carlton want to advance the ball forward from the tap.
Still no one. Sheeran. Here she comes, sweeping. Handballing to Hosking. Sheeran, all the big names combining. Great smother.
She can't take a trick, Sharon.
No, she can't.
Cannot
You're
take
right.
a trick at the moment.
You're right.
I'll tell you what, if she gets humming, this is going to be a real problem.
Yep. There's a good smother by Henry.
Because she's a real game advancer. She's a 50-metre kick out, runs 20, kicks at 50. There's a 70-metre moment within a couple of seconds, and that can break the game open.
First game last week against the Swans. Started well. Some good inside 50s for Sheeran. Brennan. Punch down in the direction of Greiser.
So Keely Shearer is the one, I reckon, that can do that job, to go run with Conti. She's fit, she's aggressive, she's a great competitor. And she loves a bit of a challenge.
Slapped down by Moody. Finn. Well-weighted pass.
That was a great kick.
It is to Hendry, who goes wide. Really making Fitzgerald work for it.
Really good by Finn. She's had a couple of good IQ moments tonight. Just knowing what to do in the circumstances. She's only been playing the game for 12 months, effectively. Seen some real growth in her this year for the Blues. They'll be wrapped with that.
Luke again. Just giving them first use, dominating in the ruck. Hill. Good spoil, Miller. Down to Goss. Wheeling, turning, spinning. Delivering inside 50. Brown did everything right. Got front position on Bacon.
Did you say Bacon stripped her? I'm here all week. Oh
dear. High against Luke. Free kick to Bree Moody. Here's a chance for the Blues. It's been a tough slog this first half. Bree Moody. She is a class player. She's going to put it to the top of the goal square. Getting a run, it was Austin. Couldn't take it cleanly. The wet, heavy ball. And up and under. Bursting clear Shevlin. Back to Pound. Hammers it inside 50. Egan. One-on-one. Good mark.
Win.
Great mark taken.
50 by Greiser it was.
Yep.
And get 50 for encroachment. That's a big one-on-one win. In these conditions, a quick release kick out of defence, just to that only pair forward of the ball effectively, Geordie. They're huge moments.
Big moments. You got to own those moments in games like this.
And she's within range. 47 career games, 40 career goals. Former St Kilda star. What a breakthrough season she had, bursting onto the scene. Found life difficult at times at Punt Road. Directly in front, sends it on its way. She's humming. Grice has got two.
Well, it's getting territory out of defence and taking the pressure and putting it somewhere else. That's how we got to this position. If you see the one-on-one win, just protected the drop zone beautifully there, the big train, and was very, very pleased to get the one-on-one. And then we see Keely Shearer, I think it is, that rolled through for the encroachment and ends up giving away the 50 metres, which just kills you. Just kills you. And it's a low-scoring affair. Up to that point, still only 2 goals, but 3 goals does start to stretch the friendship a little bit now, Geordie.
Absolutely, and particularly a player like G-Train, you know, she was 140 metres out from goal, and then that mark goes to 40, but she's still within striking distance, so pretty decent kick, especially with a wet ball, but if any player's going to kick it, it's going to be the G-Train.
So all of a sudden, Keely Shearer you see there on the back of Monconti. Keep an eye on that.
Overdue.
Let's get down to Sarah Hosking, who can join us on the boundary. Vice-captain of this team. And we said Grice is humming, but Sarah, your team's humming at the moment.
Yeah, it is. We know that Carlton's coming out with strong pressure, so we just know it's a good arm wrestle early. And I feel like we're getting a bit of ascendancy, so if we can keep the ball in our forward half, we're doing pretty well.
Hosco, is it just about trying to get out of defence with some territory and put some pressure on them?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like, you know, that they like to get the handball received and get the ball deep. So if we can get it out of our defence and fight for the outside, I think we're doing well.
And you applied a tackle in that last quarter. Did you hurt yourself? You just winded or?
Oh, I was a bit winded, you know. I feel like it takes it out of me. I'm a little bit old now, so yeah. No, I love a contest, so yeah, more tackles better.
Okay, 28 years of age. Seriously, go and get back out there.
28 going on 60.
Go get them set.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you can stay and talk to us for the rest of the second half. Yeah, that's it.
Thanks.
No, get out there. Kick us a goal.
Will do.
All right. In that new role at a half forward where she kicked 2 last week and 2 the week before, I think. Sarah Hosking, yeah. So, had never kicked more than 2 goals in a season before, and now she's kicked 4 coming in. Missed round 1 with a hamstring injury. Is a huge kick inside 50. Brennan again. Under the pump is that defence of the Blues. Lawson Tavern. Lavey. Quick hands. Sheeran. It's a high ball. Canter the drop is KB. Couldn't control it. Beaten by Cordner. Fires it out. Tackle by Shevlin. Sheeran, rather. Gearan. Gee, it's hard going at the moment. This is just relentless inside 50 pressure. And Dempsey's on the end of it. It was a wonderful kick by Mackenzie. Missed Greiser. Blues defenders happy to see it over.
Talk me through how hard that is for that moment for Mackenzie to actually have the composure to get that ball back into the corridor, Geordie.
Yeah, well, and especially when your eyes are probably drawn to a target, as we've seen, like Katie Brennan, that ability to just swivel and look inside and, you know, find that vacant player. That wing had slid and created a little bit of a sinkhole that, and they were standing in space.
Yeah, very impressive. 24-8, saw the marks on screen there for the Tigers. They're the ones that are controlling any level of flow in this game.
They're pressing. Sheeran's going to go the toe poke.
She's going down swinging.
Yes, she is.
Tonight.
Everything she's touched tonight, Maddie Sheeran has, Ailish Sheeran has turned to dust. In the best possible way, because she's an absolute superstar of the game and 2-time All-Australian. Here she is. Sheeran, centering kick, bouncing ball, in the goal square, tapped over.
She's getting back into it. It was a quiet first half for Ailish, but she's up to now, where she's going up to 8 disposals.
How difficult, Geordie, is it to adjust roles when you've played your whole footy at this level across half-back in that defensive sort of role, and then to be moved into the midfield? We'll get back to that because the Tigers are pressing. They've got the foot on the throat right now, and they really want to put this to bed as Ali Dalloway takes a mark directly in front.
It's enormous pressure at the moment. 9 inside 50s to 3 in this quarter. Talk about forward half-time in zone. It's 70% for the Tigers at the moment, putting all sorts of heat on this Carlton midfield and defence to get it out with any level of clarity.
Former Giants player, 4 behinds to her name. Big moment for her.
Yeah.
Sucks in the oxygen, and she's kicked her first goal in the AFLW.
Watch every single player on the ground get around her. That's one of the most special moments you have as a player, when someone on your team kicks their first ever goal. She won't forget that one.
So it's from a kick out to forward half turnover. Give it back to Dempsey, who kicks the ball nice. And there's always space. As soon as there's a zone kick out and you can win possession back straight away, there's always, more often than not, there's space back in the corridor to get the ball back in quickly if you can.
Yeah, and what I loved about that kick from Dempsey, it wasn't to Dalloway, it was to her advantage. And
yep.
I think that's the difference between this Richmond team tonight. They're kicking it to the space and to the advantage of their players all over the ground, and it's incredibly hard to defend.
They're well on top here at the moment. The Blues have got to find something. Change the mix up.
Ali Dalloway, handy pickup. So after the Blues kept the Cats goalless here last weekend, they're now staring down the barrel of a goalless game. Reminder, last weekend it was in hail and teeming rain. Tonight it was teeming rain before the opening bounce. Chilly old night in Melbourne town. Thursday night footy on Fox. Start of a huge long weekend. Well, a long weekend for a footy fan, not officially a long weekend, but...
We'll claim it.
Look,
next week we've got a long weekend.
Our heads are spinning half. We don't know what day it is. There's footy every day of the week except Monday at the moment.
And you know what? I'm up for it. I am absolutely up for it. I'm sure the players are loving it, but we are.
Yeah, well, we'll get to Geordie on that because she's in the middle of that compressed fixture. Outside of the boot, McKay. The up and under, the charge out by Celine. Can they conjure up something here? Anthony has the footy held to her. Celine Moody. Dribbles off her foot. Fessio applies a tackle on Mackenzie.
We'd love to see the Blues apply a little bit of scoreboard pressure here. I know it's a 23-point deficit, but get some reward for effort here.
Bounced off the chest of Henry. Wins a free kick. So, of all people, this is the defender that's got it. Can they give them something? A bit of bounce, a bit of pep in their step before the three-quarter time siren. Celine Moody, Lavey, fumble, opens the door. Austin comes back. Shearer, kick, is on its way. It's a goal. Oh, it's touched. Or it hit the post.
She knew straight away. Tigers trying to get going quickly.
Kick in wasn't great. Still a chance here for the Blues. They've got it locked deep inside 50. Austin applies the tackle on Lynch. Egan sits up here for the Blues. Beattie taking a while to pick it up was the veteran and good. Anthony Pound out in front of Austin. Just the young ball skittles and runs away from her. Now, did it hit the post? Let's have a look at the replay here.
Oh, yes, it did. Good call. Good call from the umpire. Keelan knew straight away. You can see that reaction.
You've got to sell it half.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Geordie. I love that from you. You little cheat.
Moody, Fessio, goal sneak. Shearer goes at it again. No, rolls through.
What we've seen with a couple of slow entries from the Blues, they just lack a little bit of method. We saw, a few Ailish Sheeran free kicks in that second quarter, awarded the Blues the opportunity to go inside 50, and they're just lackluster. There's no movement in there, and they just seem to have one target, and that is teeth of goal and Mia Austin storming out. They need another approach.
All of a sudden, we're over halfway. Quick kick forward or away here, the Tigers.
Here we go through Hosking. Goes back. Oh, dropping it cold for the Tigers. Beth Lynch. Real scrap. Who can break clear? Egan. Conti. Flicks it down. Here's a chance. McClelland on the left. Oh, play on. Mackenzie, Hosking drops it. Dempsey, toe poke pound. Vesio, awkward pickup. They pick it up well. Tackle, handball, gives it straight back to Dempsey inside 50. And she should be able to gather here for the Blues, although it doesn't get out of the dangerous territory. This is forward. Pound, knocked to the ground by Luke.
A couple of opportunities there for the Tigers. They just had to be a bit cleaner by hand. They could have really put a nail in this coffin. Not quite good enough, and the pressure from the Blues surging out was okay. So Brendan's gone behind the ball for the Tigers this last minute and a half. We see that a fair bit these days. One of the key forwards will roll back as an extra in the last couple of minutes of the team in the quarters.
So the Tigers in complete control of this week 4 clash. Conti held to
Bit of
just
stash
5
in the middle.
disposal. Oh, there's a bit of a scrap on
Howdy
in the
doody.
middle of the ground, although they've just broken
He's not
clear
happy.
of that. So, not sure what started that, but Katie Brennan and Bree Moody having plenty to say. Is that Celine Moody,
That's
rather?
Celine, yep. She's upset. Something's happened. And there's a bit of a howdy doody.
Okay, well, we'll get back to that after the break. This is Thursday night footy on Fox. Still plenty of great football to come your way, including a couple of prelims. The twilight from the MCG on Saturday afternoon. How good? 90,000 fans. Cats hosting Brisbane. Winner into a grand final.
Want to take your multi to new heights?
All right, there we go, folks. It is three-quarter time and the Tigers for 226, putting on 2 goals, 1 in that third term. And, of course, Carlton peppered the goals a little bit, just scoring the 3 behinds. We've got a pretty good last quarter coming in. It could be anyone's game. Who knows, folks, with only 21 points in it. That's within 4 goals. That's always within reach in this fantastic game of AFLW football. Let's just have a look at the stats. Monique Conti up to 25 disposals. A little bit quieter in that third term, just putting on the 5. But Grace Egan there, she's lifted her game up to 22 there for the Tigers. Madeline Gurin up to 16, best for the Blue Baggers. Abby McKay, next best on 14 as we just rolled down. Hey, Kai, how you going? Go the Lions. Go the Lions. Go the Tigers from Ryan. Thanks, Taddy. Catch you later, brother. Yeah, the Lions. I think the Lions might have a victory come Saturday. Should be pretty good. There are your stats, though, folks, up until three-quarter time. And, of course, the one that they can't stop, the best on ground at the moment, is Monique Conti there for the Tigers. Just the goal scorers. Gresha there, the only multiple goal scorer, with 2 goals for the Tigers. Ali Dalloway. Katie Brennan there, the other single goal scorers for the Tigers. There we go. Carlton yet to put a major on the board. Hopefully it won't be too far away before Carlton do that. We'll be right back in just a moment. Stay tuned.
her first goal all up. Wonderful celebrations. The Tigers are on a high. Win tonight, and they launch themselves into the top 4. They lead it by 21 points at three-quarter time. A little earlier, we stuck the microphone into the huddle and heard from Tigers assistant coach Emma Grant.
Make sure that when you've got the ball, you defend. Harry gets that free one there. When they've got the ball, you defend. The attacker and the ball, as soon as they get out. That ball's not coming out. It's going out. Time in forward. Hey, there's coffees on the forward 50. Hey, 3, 2, 1, toss!
Gee, that'd be a handy job right now, coaching the forward line of Richmond, because they are firing on all fronts.
Yeah, well, they're winning one-on-one, but they're also just keeping it pretty simple, which is what I loved about their setup for the ball tonight, the Tigers.
What have the Blues got for us in this third term? Some sort of mini rally.
Well, they hope they got 4 goals.
Yep, well, they're coming off their second highest big win last week. Was their best win under coach Matthew Buck, beating the Cats by 24 points. Also beat the Suns so far this season. So if they go down, they'll have a 2-2 record, and the Tigers will go 3-1 and into the top 4. But we've got 16 and a bit to play. High ball, centre half forward, 2-on-2, good spoil. Hicks gets their second. She's beaten to it by Guerin. Shevlin, Hicks. Oh, Egan went the fend off and went high on Maddie Guerin.
So Maddie Guerin started forward, deep forward out of the middle, looking for some positive ground and ball stuff in their forward 50, I think, with that move on the coach's board.
Why wouldn't you as well? She's been their best player. Got the 10 coaches' votes last week. Outstanding last week with her goal and her 31 disposals. Inside 50 they go again. Guerin did get her hands to it. She was the target on that occasion. Overrunning at Fitzgerald. You see her too high with that tackle.
Well, she'll get some love to Keely Shearer too. After that first little surge in the third quarter from Montconti, she was able to keep it to 5 disposals for the third quarter there, Keely Shearer. So a job well done.
Raises the question why it didn't happen from the very opening first bounce. Going to ground. Finn.
She's just making Montconti's job a bit harder, Geordie, to take out the Harvey Norman Player of the Match award tonight.
Can anyone else challenge Montconti for that Harvey Norman Player of the Match, I wonder? You can ponder that half as Blues fans see if we can ponder a goal here. Can they keep it in play? Austin can't. Tough old start to the season for the key forward, Mia Austin. I know you're a big fan of hers half.
Huge. She looks like she's just lacks a lot of confidence at the moment, man. She's a really good competitor. We're not seeing enough of that from her. Love to see her get her arms up when she's attacking the footy. Don't take too many balls in her chest at the moment.
Still just 20, trying to develop into that key forward role. Bree Moody's the star. Launches up over the top. Miller the toe poke. Goss going nowhere.
Montconti's 2IC, Grace Egan, has actually had a day out. We haven't given her enough love. 22 disposals, 80% kicking efficiency and 12 contested possessions.
Straight down to Tani Brown. Sorry to jump in there, Geordie, but Tani's eyes lit up, but couldn't quite get enough curl on it to bring it back for their first major.
So last week, Guerin, McKay, Shearer and Hill had 117 disposals between them and 3 goals. Tonight, they've had 60. And none.
Tigers have done their homework.
My word, they have.
Tigers midfielder have well and truly won it. Miller doesn't keep it in play.
Didn't want to. Clever. She's done a great job. Beat Miller tonight. In fact, their defensive key pillars. Miller has done a great job. I reckon Seymour's done a great job as well. Geordie, you know more about it than I would, but I reckon they've done a really good job in their direct opponents tonight.
Absolutely. Mia Austin hasn't even seen it tonight. 2 disposals for Austin.
Conti's kick just touched by McClellan before it goes over.
So everything's on Carlton here, isn't it? Like if you're Richmond, if you're Ryan Ferguson, you don't need to make anything happen in this last quarter, do you? You've got the game in control. All you have to do is stop Carlton getting a run.
Well, you tell me, Half, you're the ex-coach, but, you know, yeah, the Blues, but they're in a dangerous position. You've really got nothing to lose here. Let's throw some magnets around. You're in an opportunity to just surge the ball and take some risks.
McKenzie, Levy, Conti. What a masterclass it's been tonight, although that kick just lets herself down momentarily.
Let's going to get the award taken off her.
Whoa, that kick opens the door for Dempsey. Can she gather it? She took her eyes off it just before she had to. Katie Brennan could not pop the fend off, the snap, and she buries it for her second.
It's a great finish in the end, but just a great read from Dempsey on that outside wing, that open side winger. As we see the kick come across the field from Finn, looking for Fitzgerald. Dempsey read the eyes, read the cues really quickly. Now, it didn't go perfectly from there for Kate, but she had great support in the skipper, who was able to help out and get involved and chuck it up the left foot for another goal, a second for the night, Cal, as you said. But just a great read, just players who are always watching, Geordie. They're invaluable.
And especially that wing role, that ability to, you know, obviously it's a massive, important role in terms of the defensive system, but as we've seen, it can be a really useful tool offensively as well, and Kate Dempsey just did her job there.
They've been full of run right from the very start.
Just a 6-6-6 warning there for the Blues.
Sheeran, McKenzie, look at that. So exciting to watch. Hayley Sheeran. Just the shove off was good. Handball. Luke, look out. She's going to barrel Vesio.
She's a great addition. She's had a really good reintroduction into this competition tomorrow, Luke. Really pleased with her. She's a great football person, made the VFLW Team of the Year during the week. Runner-up in the Lambert Pearce medal.
It's a brilliant story. Levy. A little up and under. Goss. Got it. Stripped. Vesio. Tough start to season 9 for Darcy Vesio.
Yeah, well, you look at the way they play, the Blues. It's interesting watching them play in the last couple of weeks live. Darcy's on a wing, Kelly Skipper's on the wing. They're not traditionally a team that looks like they want to play with too much width, and they've got two of their real class players and skilled players sitting wide of the ball.
Dempsey running rings around Vesio. They've been a brilliant player in this competition. 31 years of age, playing all 9 seasons.
Who's 31, did you say?
Darcy?
Yeah. I wasn't listening. Not because you weren't entertaining, I just wasn't listening.
Always the story. Conti's got it. She's within range. And sit back on the couch and watch the very best of women's sport in Australia tonight. Fox Sports has got it all covered. And at her best, she's one of the best female athletes in Australia at the moment. She's kicked into the player of the mark.
Can you moz someone?
She definitely did moz. Sheeran, you've moz Sheeran tonight. We've got to get Ailish a bit of love.
Abby McKay just absolutely telegrammed what she was going to do on the mark, then probably knew Conti didn't have the distance, and as soon as she stepped off her mark, McKay came forward to create that smother. Well read.
Creeping closer to goal, the Tigers go. McClellan knocks it out in front of Conti, goes to ground. Shearer, who's got the tagging roll on her. Kept Conti just to the 5 disposals in the third quarter after she had 20 at a half time. The umpire says it'll be a ball in. Moody in the ruck. There's Shearer. Running with Conti in this second half after she had absolutely no one next to her in that opening half. Flick back in, it goes over the head of Moody. Here's Conti. Smack down back to Conti's direction, throws it on the right boot. No one's home. Vesio, last line of defence. Started her career up forward. You had her mainly up forward half.
Does. Yeah, absolutely. One of best and fairest playing forward of the ball with me back in the old days.
And then flicked up on the wing and now getting down back just to win some footy.
Tried to play them half back late in my time with her as well, and with them as well, and that worked pretty well. I reckon that might be an option too.
Okay.
Get them behind the ball.
Tigers. See it over. So it was Richmond by 12 points at quarter time. Katie Brennan kicked the first goal of the game. Kicked the first 3 last week through her first 3 kicks. So she's in a rich vein of form, which is great for the competition. So many injured stars, so many injured captains at the moment. Richmond, one of the rare teams to have their captain up and flying. Speaking of flying, Mackenzie, lovely little sidestep towards Brennan. Took it on the bounce, set upon.
Gee, that was great craft in the stoppage, Geordie.
Absolutely. I'd love to see someone take away her left side, though. Like, she's such a dominant kick on her left foot. We need to do our homework better and, stop her from stepping inside and using that. It's a lethal boot she's got.
Now she's in the ruck, putting it down the throat of Egan and tackled. Geordie Allen, Collingwood star defender, joining us on the coverage tonight. Part of this condensed fixture.
Just by the way, dominating.
Absolutely. It's not hard sitting next to you, Daniel Harford. Geordie, you've got 3 games in 10 days. How difficult is it?
It's actually, we just want to play more footy. It's actually quite nice not training, Cal. You just move on with it, probably not getting the wins on the board, but not a lot of time to dwell, Cal.
A rare day off and you want to come and watch footy.
That's
Sit
right.
next to us.
Just love it.
Greiser wrapping up Goss.
Nothing really changing at the moment for the Blues. Tigers got one behind the ball. Often happens when they've got forward 50 possession that the ruck drops out. McClellan is the player at the moment, just helping out the defence behind the ball.
One thing the condensed fixture does do, it means if you're wiped out with a little bit of an injury, is Sheeran with the fend off on the left, blazes away, misses everything. And you're noticing it at the moment, Geordie, with your captain Bree Davey, concussed, misses 3 games. Your best player, Britt Benici, small calf injury, probably misses 3 games.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the burden of such a short turnaround between games, and particularly to crucial players in that midfield, and they'll come back better than ever. Obviously, the protocols are in there for a reason, but yeah, we'll look after Breeze and we'll get her back when she's ready.
Yeah, it just means it's almost a third of the season, isn't it? That's the unfortunate side of things when you're only playing an 11 game home and away season. Captain Curse struck again tonight with the Carlton captain Karen Peterson off in the first quarter with what it looks to be a nasty shoulder injury. Holding the ball to be a free kick.
Yeah, that's a blow for the Blues.
Going away with Sheeran.
Heard it last week in the game against the Cats. Came back on and then clearly looked hampered tonight. Not sure the incident, can't quite remember the incident, Kel, but
no.
She was off pretty quick and in a fair bit of pain too.
Yeah, terrible news. We wish Kez all the best with her recovery and hope it's not too bad. Blues trying so hard to fight it out here. Sheeran didn't get the bounce she wanted. Here's Kieran. Brings it back the other way. Couldn't quite take the mark, Shevlin. There's some tired bodies out there. This is where coaches, if there is short turnaround, start to look after their stars.
Well, let's have a look. Conti's on the bench at the moment. Seymour. Dempsey as well. She's come back on just then. So I wouldn't mind betting that we don't see much more of Conti. Although she does look like she's ready on the bench to have another go. Pretty competitive unit. See her there on the line. So Coach Ryan Ferguson.
They'll play next Tuesday night back here hosting Port Adelaide, the Tigers.
It's a good call, though, Cal. I'd be absolutely thinking about getting her off.
Well, we obviously saw the injury to Ali Blackburn late in the game.
Yeah.
It's, those last few minutes when the game is done, icy best players, I'd say.
We had a great start to the season half, and they're got an actually quite a favourable draw as well.
By my numbers, they've got the third best draw in the competition.
Really?
Yeah. And so it's a real good opportunity for the Tigers to put themselves in a top 4 calculation if they can get it right. You said the draw for the next 4 matches. The Power here in week 5 and then down to Tassie to take on the Kangaroos. That's not going to be easy. The Magpies at Swinburne Centre at Punt Road there, and the Cats as well. So a couple of home games after the Kangaroos road trip.
Mackenzie on the left to Greiser. She just cradles it like a baby.
She's done a good job in that one-on-one action tonight, Geordie. It's not easy to do, to protect the ball and have the strength to hold your ground in those situations. I imagine she's pretty tough to get around too.
Absolutely. It's almost as if you sit front shoulder on her, especially Richmond. They want to chip the ball short. It's almost one that you'd concede an over-the-back goal there.
So she kicked just 8 games, struggled a little bit last season. For the whole season. This is for her 5th. 3rd tonight, 5th of the season. The G-Train is back.
Kicks it over the net, mind you, half.
Oh, I've got to go find that now. It's on the roof.
Well, it's got the chip in it, so it's probably expensive. They'll be able to track it.
They will be able to track exactly where it is. Poor old Meatball, who's one of the maintenance guys around here, is one of the great guys. Yeah, love
He's currently running down Royal Parade.
He'll love a bit of a pump up too, just by the way. Meatball, who's a ripper here at Carlton, he'll have to go and fetch that from somewhere on the road at Royal Parade or on the roof and get up on the big ladder. Poor old Meatball. On a cold night. Can slip on there.
Oh, dear.
She had a good night, the train.
Meatball rolling around on the roof. There was a song about that, wasn't there? A rolling meatball.
Yes, there was.
Thumbs up from the G-Train. Tigers by 32 points. It's been a dirty old night for the Blues, coming off their best win under their coach, Matthew Buck. They haven't been able to keep it going. Oh, and this will open up here for Mackenzie. She is a brilliant player, and they are feasting. Nearly feasting on the Blues.
Would have loved that to have gone through. It would have been great for her confidence.
Had so many injuries in her first couple of years, Mackenzie.
Remember her coming in as the number 1 draft pick, and the whole footy world just looking at her go, oh my God, who is this kid? Just hoping we'd get to see the best of her, and we haven't been able to have that opportunity in the last, throughout her entire career.
2 games and then injury and then the calf and injury and then out for the year. She's missed so much football. Conti fires it out. The look away to Mackenzie. Into the pocket. And Brennan and Greiser couldn't finish it off.
I think the Blues will be really disappointed with this performance tonight. On the back of that stellar hit out against the Cats last week. I mean, that was a really good footy they played last week in every facet of the game. And they just haven't been able to get at any level of ascendancy, any phase of play tonight, which they reckon they'd be devastated about.
Goss. Pound. Greiser still hungry for more. Tackling Gab Pound to the ground. Goss again doing the hard work for the Blues. Got to get it out. It flicks through her legs. Mackenzie missed the last one. Pound goes to ground again.
Trip free, raises quarter from out of zone.
Razor's doing a lot of games as well. For a retired man, he's backing up. Talk about a compressed fixture for Razor Ray as Greiser dropped it forward. Oh, Brennan, was she pushed in the back? Razor doesn't blow his whistle. Chance for Lynch. Pinballs around in there. Gear into Bree Moody, who will just whack it on the boot. Graham's the only player back there.
Great set up.
That sweeping defender roll and flicks it wide. Dempsey drops it, should be able to regather. Wedges it over the top to Egan. Slaps it down towards Dempsey. Just great understanding and flow with the Tigers right now. Mackenzie wanted it more than everyone. She'll wheel around. Handball off to Tessa Lavey. Delivers it inside 50. The G-Train over her head. Cordner's got to be quick. Vesio. Ford. Tried to affect the smother. Greiser's all out of puff.
Katie Brennan jumped the back fence quicker than anyone I've ever seen then. She was in the goal square all by herself, 30 metres in the clear,
Gearin,
waiting for the ball to come through.
spearing past to Pound. Had to make her work for it. Pound was taken high because she lost her headband. Umpire didn't see that.
Very still.
And the Tigers soar into the top 4 after week 4 with a 33-point win.
Fantastic performance by the Tigers. They'll be rapt with that. They controlled the game from the start. They adapted the conditions, I think, better early doors, Geordie, and that set the game up for them. As you see them now rocket into 3rd position on the live ladder. And the Blues are out of the 8 at the moment with an interesting percentage, by the way, on the back of that performance. But they played the conditions better, did they not?
Absolutely. We were talking about, the handball game that Carlton wanted to play, and we said it early on, even before the ball had gone up. It might be a bit of a hard night to do that, especially with the Dewey footy. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Richmond just, we were talking about the territory battle. They just got the ball forward and kept it forward, and it was really hard for the Blues to transition the ball out at all. And anytime they got it inside forward 50, that ball just leaked. And very, very clinical performance here by the Tigers. I think they'll be stoked to be inside the top 4 after missing out on finals last year. It'd be good to see them inside the top 8.
Okay, Half, you've just written it down on the piece of paper for me. The Harvey Norman player of the match. Drum roll. Let's get down to Megs.
Well, this woman certainly has no shortage of accolades, and tonight we add another to the list. Mon Conti, you were tonight's Harvey Norman player of the match. You've won yourself a $500 gift voucher. Do you have any appliances you need to replace?
I should say yes. My brother's a plumber, so I think he'd like to use a bit of that too.
Jokes aside, mate, you were absolutely outstanding tonight, as you always are, but it was a whole team effort. Your midfield group is absolutely humming at the moment.
Yeah, we've got a really good balance of just complete talent in there. And I think it's really nice coming out each week and any of us can stand up, and we have a really equal role to play, all of us. And I think, when we spread the load like that, we win games and we look really strong in there.
Well, tonight you celebrated your 50th game for the Richmond Tigers. How much do you love rocking up to Punt Road each and every week, pulling on the yellow and black and playing with this group of girls?
I absolutely love the club, and I love my team, and I love the coaches. I love everything about it, and it is home to me. I feel like I'm a veteran of the league now, so coming in each week and being able to just say I play football as a job for that club is really special, and I love pulling on the yellow and black, and I like to say it's just the best club in the land, the best Tiger Army too.
Love it, Mum. Well, go enjoy the win. You deserve to celebrate in true form.
Thank you. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
So Mon Conti tagged in the last fortnight, averaging just the 17 disposals heading into this one tonight, allowing other mids to step up in Mackenzie, Sheeran and Egan. But it was the Moncon masterclass back to her very best. 32 disposals as the Blues trudge off IKON Park, goalless tonight. And there is their next month coming up with North Melbourne next Thursday night.
Yeah, busy for them from there. Port Adelaide away at Alberton there, and then the Brisbane Lions at Freo, and that's 3 really tough games. The Port Adelaide game is a game they'd like to have on their racket, you reckon, but 3 other very tough games.
Yeah, it certainly is. Let's get back down to Megs.
Caitlin Greiser, or more commonly known as the G-Train, you were absolutely enormous tonight. You kicked 3 of your team's 6. You must be bloody stoked with that effort.
Oh, it was a great team effort. We came out and we really wanted to hammer down and, play the 4 quarters. So it was nice to get that done, and then to get on get on the end of a few was really nice, especially after the past couple of weeks. So
it was really good to see, and it must really breed some confidence now. You've won 3 on the trot going into next week. A bit of a short turnaround, but you must be feeling pretty confident and pretty proud of this group.
Yeah, definitely. We didn't start off the way we wanted to round 1, so nice to get a couple of wins, and obviously with the short condensed season. So, we're really pumped, and we're not really worrying about that. We're just focusing on each game and wanting to get the wins. So it was good to get on the board.
Well, go sing the song. The girls are waiting for you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Dropped the opening round to Daisy Pearce's West Coast Eagles. Since then, won 3 in a row. As the G-Train joins them, we're signing off from IKON Park. Don't forget, double header tomorrow night. Fox Footy from 5 p.m.
Well, there you go, folks. It was a Tiger victory. They dominated tonight way too strong. 6-3, 39, defeating the Blue Baggers. No goals, 6 behind, 6 points. And, of course, the Tigers putting on 2 goals, 1 in that final quarter. Poor old Carlton could only manage a point. They were struggling up forward, Carlton, with their fours, whereas Richmond looked pretty dangerous going forward. Kicking 6 goals, 3 and kicking pretty straight. I tell you what, pretty good. I tell you what, they've got a good team next week to play Richmond. Of course, that's North Melbourne. That will be a cracker game. We'll definitely be looking forward to that match next time Richmond play. And of course, don't forget, tomorrow afternoon, coming up, North Melbourne, Port Adelaide, AFLW action. Following that game, we've got the big preliminary final, whereas the Sydney Swans men's AFL team taking on Port Adelaide. Who's going to be the victor there? Who's going to go in to the grand final AFL? We'll know in just a couple of days' time, folks, who the big 2 teams will be in the AFL men's. But this game was all about Richmond. And, of course, Monique Conti, what a star. She just starred for the Tigers there tonight. 32 possessions. She had 19 kicks, 13 handballs, 2 marks, 2 tackles. She was definitely best on ground. Grace Egan, 24. Another good game there for the Tigers with Ellie McKenzie on 20. Madalena Gurin was best for the Blue Baggers for Carlton with 19 disposals, 16 kicks, 3 handballs, 2 marks, 7 tackles. She had a pretty good game. All the same, Abby Mackay there was 16. Kate Dempsey there for the Tigers was 16. And let's keep rolling down. Harriet Cordner, 11 for the Blue Baggers. We'll go into, look at that, Caitlin Grisha, 8 disposals, 7 kicks, 1 handball, 5 marks, 3 tackles, and we'll get to the goal scorers in just a moment, folks. Stand by. We're going to head back up there just after having a look at the at your players' stats, how they fared in this game tonight. Tell you what, a bit of a chilly night, only 8 degrees here in Melbourne. And, of course, a little bit of drizzle there early on, so it did make the ball a little bit slippery. Let's have a look at the goal scorers here for the match. Of course, there we are, the goals. 2 multiple goal scorers, but the leading goal scorer on the ground tonight was Caitlin Grisha from the Richmond Tigers. She kicked 3 goals, 1 from her 7 kicks. Fantastic effort. And, of course, Katie Brennan finished off the game with 2 goals from her 5 kicks. Ali Dalloway was the other single goal scorer there for the Tigers. Fantasy points, if you do play the fantasy points for game, well, Monique Conti was your top scorer with 95. No one broke the 100 tonight. Brennan Moody was the best for Carlton on 86. Quickly having a look at the team stats before we head off. And, of course, just in the game tomorrow night, the preliminary final, Sydney go into that game as favourites at 135. Port Adelaide, 320. There's just a little bit of information there. Let's have a look at the stats. Well, there you go. By the end of the game, with Carlton were leading disposal counts throughout the match, it was Richmond in the end on top. They did it by 9. Got on top by 8 in the kicking department, 1 in the handballs, inside 50. Look at that. Both teams had plenty inside 50 opportunities. 39 for Richmond. And of course, 25 for Carlton. Disposal efficiency around the ground, only going about 52% for both teams. A little bit low, as was the efficiency inside 50. I think both teams will be looking to improve on that next week. Free kicks, pretty standard. 19 to 12, Carlton there by 7. Didn't make much difference in the end. Carlton pretty dominant in the hit-outs, though. 58, 31, 27 ahead in that department. Clearances, all pretty even as the stoppage clearances. Centre clearances, though, went to the Tigers 6 to 3. Contested possessions, uncontested possessions, not much between them there, as was the turnovers. I'll tell you what, there's a strange stat, though, when you look at the time in possession for the match. 44% to the Blues, 30% to the Tigers. And it was Richmond the big winners tonight. The marks, Richmond grabbed the ball a little bit better. And, of course, they had their 7 inside 50 marks Jenny Juice, real mega love shout out. How are you? Happy Thursday. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming in to say hello. Appreciate that. Here we go. Contested marks. Richmond by 3. And of course, as you can see, Carlton did not hit the front at all in any part of the game. The tackles, well, Carlton had to tackle. Richmond were putting them under that much pressure with their run and carry. There we go. Tackles inside 50, both pretty good for both sides. 20-23. Now, if we can see, let me just try and reload this ladder. I want to see whether this is updated. And there it is. There is the live ladder as it stands for the AFLW. And of course, Richmond now move up into third spot, playing 4 games. They've had 3 wins and 1 loss with a percentage of 193.7. Carlton remain down there in 9th position. Played 4 with 2 wins and 2 losses. A pretty low percentage there, 68.9. But still a few teams around them still yet to play, which will alter the ladder somewhat to come. But there we go. You got dinner now. Well, Santa. Oh, Jenny. Well, I hope you enjoy your dinner. I had dinner before. I had some Singapore noodles, so that kept me pretty happy. Kept me going for a little while. So, yeah, I enjoyed my Singapore noodles tonight while watching a little bit of the football, bringing it to everyone there tonight. All right, folks, I hope everyone enjoyed the game tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon, we have North Melbourne taking on Port Adelaide in the AFLW match. That comes up at 5 p.m. Melbourne time tomorrow. And, of course, 7:40 p.m. Melbourne time tomorrow night. We got the big match, don't forget, the preliminary final between Sydney and Port Adelaide. Whoever wins that match will be going into the grand final the following Saturday, which should be fantastic. And, of course, don't forget, on Saturday, we have Geelong taking on the Brisbane Lions. And, of course, the winner of that match will go into the grand final and meet the winner of Sydney Port Adelaide. So, in for a big weekend of football. Stay tuned for all the action coming your way on the channel this weekend and tomorrow. All right, folks, that's about all I've got for this one. Thanks, everyone, for coming in. Don't forget, we had the poll in there, 32 votes on who was going to win this game tonight. And, of course, Richmond had the most of the votes there. 75%, Carlton had 25%. Well done, everyone. We got this poll right. We found the winner of tonight's game. 75% saying Richmond. Well done to Ryan. He's a happy Tigers fan. All right, thanks everybody for coming in. Appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the coverage and can't wait until tomorrow. A couple of big games there coming up. AFLW action and, of course, the AFL men's final. All right, folks, that's me. That's all I've got for you tonight. So until next time, ciao for now. We'll see you in the next game.